Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So on September 29th, the University of Medina announced the acceptance of applications for study at the university. Applications will be accepted within 45 days. So in this regard, I decided to record this video in which I will talk about two things. The first part of the video will be about what documents are required for the application, and the second part of the video will be about the process of applying itself. So without further ado, let's get started with the first part of the video. What documents are required for this process? So here we are on the portal of the university, and they have the whole list of the documents that you will need to provide. And all these documents are divided into two categories. The first category is mandatory to be provided. As you can see, it says yes. There are a lot of yes, so it means that you have to provide these documents. And also there are documents that you should provide, but you don't have to. But it's a lot better to provide these documents if you have them, because in this case it will increase your chances of being accepted, insha'Allah. And also you will stand out of the crowd if you apply all the documents, if you have them. So let's go one by one. It starts with the photo of the personal photo in the format of JPEG, but not PDF, as it states here. So you have to make it. If you have it, good. If you don't have it, just go and make this photo. Then you need a high school certificate with the translation into Arabic. Yeah, that's a must to provide both of them. And there is a note here that if you haven't graduated from the high school yet, you're studying in the last grade, you can still apply, because as it states here, on the portal it states here that if the applicant hasn't completed secondary stage but he is still studying, he must attach a certificate or transcript of grade 11 in place of secondary certificate in the attachment section, and the applicant final admission will not take place until the secondary certificate is attached. So once you graduate from the high school, you can attach the high school certificate, which means that you can apply even in the last grade of high school. And there is another note here that, let's say that you graduated from high school long time ago, and you graduated from the university or from the college. What you should apply? Should you apply the high school certificate or the diploma from the university? And of course you should apply the diploma from the university if you graduated from the university or from the college, because you see there are conditions that must be met, that were put by the university, and it states that no more than 5 years have passed since the applicant received the high school certificate, college or university diploma. So yeah, if you graduated from university, then instead of high school certificate you will apply your diploma, and it's also supposed to be translated into Arabic. Once you did it, you should apply your transcript with the translation, then a valid passport. Only the first page, the main page. You don't need to provide 36 pages of your passport. Then you're supposed to provide a medical report. You just go to the GP and ask him to write this medical report, and that will be enough. And there must be a translation of that medical report, birth certificate with a translation, testimonial certificate. What is a testimonial certificate? It's a good conduct certificate. You just go to your school and ask them to write it for you, or usually you just write it yourself and then just ask them to put a seal and a signature on it. That's what it is. And then you're supposed, of course, you're supposed to translate it into Arabic. And then the last document that you must provide is at-tazkiyah. At-tazkiyah, as we say here, is a letter of recommendation, preferably from students of the University of Medina or other Islamic figures or organizations. So that's what it is at tazkiyah. You're supposed to provide at least one tazkiyah or two. For example, you can take one from an imam and another one from the masjid, or from a student. Or if there are Muslim organizations in your area, you can ask them to write it for you. People who require services from us, we provide one tazkiyah from ourselves. but we usually evaluate because we don't want to provide tazkiyah to people of takfiriyah or khawarij or some other sects. So therefore, people apply, we take a look at it, evaluate, and then we provide the tazkiyah, and sometimes we just refuse. But anyways, that's what tazkiyah means. That's what academic recommendation means. And then you can also apply the following documents like legal precedence freedom certificate, Noble Quran memorization certificate. If you have one, it's really good. A certificate of academic texts and academic courses. What is it? It's mutun. If you have a certificate that you memorized 40 hadith of An-Nawawi or Kitab al-Tawheed or Al-Usul al-Thalatha, for example, if you have a certificate for that, you should apply it, and that will be better. And if you have Arabic language proficiency certification, that's also good. And the last one is for those who are going to study in the scientific faculties of the Islamic University. If you're going to study in the Islamic University, in the Islamic faculties of the university, then you don't need to provide this last document. That's what it is. So that are the documents that you need to provide while applying. There are two ways for you. The first one is a hard one, which means that you will need to translate all these documents into Arabic and then submit the application yourself. That's a good way, and you can go and choose this way. And there is a second way of submitting the documents, which is to order services from us, because we've been doing that for quite a while. We know how it's done. So what do we do? We first of all translate all the documents from English into Arabic. That's what it looks like. So this whole document was about FBI background check, and we translated it from English into Arabic. You can see the translation was carried out by a certified translator, Mansour Mahdi, from English into Arabic. And since I graduated from the Institute of Arabic Language, I have a diploma that is approved by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Ministry of Education, and therefore I have a seal. So what we do, we translate all the documents and then put a seal, a signature, and we say that we translated it, so it has some legal force. That's the first thing that we do, and then we apply and do all the job for you. And how much do we charge? We charge $100 US dollars if it's just a high school certificate. So if it's all documents including high school certificate, we just charge $100, and that's it. And that includes everything, the translation service and the submission service. But if you have a diploma, then we charge $120 US dollars, and that's a very, very fair price, because I asked one brother who translated all the documents at the company in Canada, and they charge a lot more. After I recorded this video, I received a message from a good brother of mine from Canada who was translating documents at the translation company. He says he paid about 300 Canadian dollars for the translation of all documents except the certificate of good conduct. And this is just a service of translation of the documents. So that's a very good price. We made it affordable. You can choose services from us. How you can do that? You just go notjustmedina.com, go to the contacts section, and then just text us, and we will be glad to assist. But if you can't afford it, or you can do it yourself, that's fine. Let me show it to you how it's done, just step by step. Okay, let's get started from the beginning. If you decided to do it yourself, just go with me. You go onto this website, Minhadi, which is translated as a scholarship from the Arabic language, and you see this page. You go down, you click register, then you register your email. They send you a letter, then you confirm your email. That's how it works. And once you registered, you just log in. Okay, I just logged in to show you how it works. So here we are. Once you logged in, you have this page and you just click apply. And here we have 8 sections that we are supposed to fill out. And let's get started. It starts with the personal information. It's quite straightforward. You just fill it out. The first one is in Arabic, and then you just take your passport and fill these places with the same information but in English. So it's easy. Then you choose your nationality, original nationality. That's your first citizenship. Let's say well, of course it's male, because there are no female students in the Islamic University of Medina. And marital status. So I think there is no question about it. You just fill it out. That's easy. Here we have religion. You should choose Islam. That's the only option. And then you choose doctrine. Doctrine means madhab. If you follow a certain madhab, then you just choose doctrine, which means madhab. If you don't follow a madhab, you just say no. If you convert to Islam, you leave it as it is. But if you were born into a Muslim family, you click that you are a Muslim by birth. Then we have father's full name and mother's full name. It's not going to affect your acceptance to the Islamic University. You can fill it, you can just leave it. It's up to you. But if let's say your father is an engineer or is a professor, and Saudis just love professors and engineers. They see them as some geniuses. Because I used to work as an engineer, and every time they hear that I used to be an engineer before studying the Islamic University, they just immediately show a lot of respect. So if your dad or your mom have a certain place, like some of them is an engineer or a doctor, you can indicate it here, and probably it's gonna give you some points, but mostly it doesn't affect your acceptance. And here we have annual income in dollar. You shouldn't fill it out, because if you have a good income in dollar, the administration worker, he might think that, well, you have money, then why you should go and study in Medina. There are many others who don't have education and they deserve it more. So I would suggest that you don't fill these sections, just leave them. And then you have the reason I intend to study. Of course, you should, even though it's not obligatory, but you should fill it out. It has a limit 250 characters. And even though the interface is in English, you should do it in the Arabic language. So if you fill it out in English, the administration worker, he won't understand it. But do it in Arabic. 250 characters, not more. So let's say that you fill it out, you go onto the next section. Well, first of all, you click save personal information, and then you go next. Here you have like email and a mobile number, and then another mobile number. You can just copy it and paste it here. That's fine. If you have Twitter account or Facebook account, you just say, you just indicate it here. But if you don't have it, you can write not exist or غير موجود. That's also fine. And then they ask you to provide your location information. You can do it in English. That's fine. Yeah, you do that. And then they ask you to provide the information about your relative. Why they do that? In case if something happens to you, they will get in touch with this person. So you see, it's mandatory to provide this information. And once you did it, you just go down, and here we have voluntary works and interests and hobbies. It's interesting that they have this section, but they only give you 20 symbols to fill it out. I don't know, you just have to find a way to describe your voluntary works or interests and hobbies in one word or 2 words. So once you did it, you just go on to the next section. There we have academic information, and no matter what you provide, whether it's a high school certificate or the university diploma, In any case, you just choose high secondary because that's the only option. You cannot just leave it academic degree. It will give you an error. So you have to choose high secondary, and then you just fill this section out in Arabic. Like if it's your diploma, university diploma, you write that شهادة البكالوريوس في كلية كذا وكذا, which means that the bachelor degree in a certain specialization, and then you do that in English, and then you just choose which country you got this where you got this education, and then everything is pretty clear. You just fill this section out and click add, and here we have the area where you're supposed to provide the information about who gave you tazkiyah. For example, let's say I'm Mansour of Madi. I'm the one who provided you with this tazkiyah. I'll just write here that my name is Mansour of Madi. I was the one who provided this tazkiyah. Oh, you write it, because let's just say I provided you with this tazkiyah. You write that it's Mansour of Madi, طالب الجامعة الإسلامية, which means the student of the Islamic University, and you're supposed to fill these places in Arabic, not in English. Don't do that in English because the administration worker, maybe he understands English, maybe he doesn't. You don't want to risk that. You just do it in Arabic. And then you say that if it's just a person, well-known figure, you choose well-known figure. If it's an organization, you just choose this one. And I study in the bachelor degree, and let's say I provided you with the tazkiyah, you choose bachelor degree. If you have somebody who's studying PhD and he provided you with tazkiyah, it's a lot better. So once you are finished with that, you go on to the next section. Here you clarify how many parts of the Quran you've memorized and how good are you at the Arabic language, specifically at writing, reading, conversation, listening. Another language, you're also supposed to indicate that. And then it has a lot of areas. Well, you can say that I took some exams, but it's not going to affect your acceptance anyways if you go for the Islamic faculties. But if you have a special award, like you are a champion of the world in karate or taekwondo or something, you can specify it here. It's going to give you some points. But if you're just an ordinary Muslim and your only award is that you had good behavior in school, then you just leave it as it is and go just further. This is not that important, but if you want, you can fill it out. That's fine. And then you go on to the next section, which is tracks and choices. The first section is about what you are going to study. Is it going to be Islamic faculties or is it going to be scientific faculties? Let's say that you want to study in the Islamic faculty, then you just choose full-time. That's the only option, academic level, bachelor's. And you say that you accept the conditions and choices. And here we have the list of the faculties. For example, if you want to study in the faculty of Ad-Da'wah, you choose it and then just click up. So that's your priority. If you want to study Al-Hadith, you just do the same. If you want to study Sharia, so the priority is on top. Once you did it, you just click save choice. Once you click save choice, it says تم الحفظ. Well, they are asking you to wait, and here you have it. تم الحفظ, it means that it was saved. Then you go on to the next section. Here you apply all the documents, and remember that the photo is supposed to be in JPEG format, not PDF. And once you're finished with it, you just go on to the next section and just click confirm that you're not a part of Khawarij, you're not a part of criminal gang organization, that you're gonna have good behavior in Saudi Arabia, that you're not a disabled person, that you're not suffering from chronic diseases. Yeah, you do that, and then you click next and just click apply. That's how it's done. That's the whole process. So if you want to do it yourself, that's fine. I just showed it to you. I've showed it to you how it's done. But If you want to order services from us, for example, you need your documents to be translated, and you want us to do this whole process because some places you have to fill it out in Arabic, then be our guest. Just go onto our website, notjustmedina.com. We provide services not just from the Islamic University of Medina, but we also apply documents for other universities. Just go to the section contacts and then just text us, and we'll be in touch, inshallah. So that's it. Wa jazakumullah khairan for your attention. Inshallah, see you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.